Hey, hello. Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to have a short little video while wandering around the painted world in VR a little bit today. So, recently there was the acquisition of Activision via Microsoft, and we talked about that some. Monopoly, um, concerns of monopoly and things have obviously been going around with Microsoft buying a lot of companies and that. And, the fanboys of all the companies that have been at each other's throats and making memes and hypocritical pointing out at different people like, oh no, don't buy the company, then encourage them to buy other companies, your company to buy other companies and all that kind of crap. And it's like, fanboy wars. Ooh, excuse me. But so Sony has bought Bungie for a very, very small price compared to what Activision was. I think it was 3 mil, I believe. Was it 3 mil or 3 bill? Or I don't know. It's nowhere close to what Microsoft paid for Activision. So definitely nothing really big, especially considering Bungie virtually has nothing in their name really, besides being the creators of Halo and Destiny. I mean, like I'm not aware of anything else outside Destiny 1 and 2 that Bungie's made. Like, have they actually made anything else? I don't recall them making anything else. Maybe there's something obscure that slipped by I'm not aware of, but they only have two Destiny games and the only Halo games, which they obviously don't own anymore. Microsoft, they sold the rights to Microsoft, or Microsoft owned the rights when they worked with Bungie. I don't really remember particularly who owned what whites of that. But point is, they don't have Halo's whites anymore to any degree. So really, like, it does make me wonder why they acquired Bungie. Destiny's fallen out of public view. Really, it's not dead. At least Destiny 2 isn't. I don't know about Destiny 1. Like, does Destiny 1 even still have servers up anymore? Because you got to remember, that was on PS3, 360, PS4, Xbox One. So I don't even know how any of those are functioning, especially since they dropped Destiny 1 pretty hard when it came to content. And I didn't like how they did all the content stuff. Like, I played a good chunk of Destiny 1. I barely played Destiny 2. Like, barely. Like, any of it. I did like a few improvements they did with Destiny 2, but overall it still just continued a lot of the problems I had in Destiny 1. Woo! Like, there were a lot of things I didn't like. Like how the story is, how content progression was. It essentially destroyed a lot of older content. That was a dead end, by the way. It destroyed a lot of older content and that your progression through it and stuff, and it just really made the whole thing like a real fucking mess. Let's go a little off-road, eh? Oop. Because we are not limited to. Apparently, those invisible walls with the bushes are, though. Whoop. Haha. I'm taking my own secret path. Ooh. Yoink. Haha. Love a skip. Ooh. Yeah, that's where the bone skeletons are down now. There's no ladders in here, so that's a one-way trip without a restart. Like the torch, though. No. I do have to wonder why they bought Bungie, though. Because, I mean, well, as far as I know, Destiny 2 went free to play and has apparently been decently profitable still for Bungie. It does make me wonder what the point of buying them was. There could be acquisition interests in Destiny, maybe expanding Destiny 2 or moving on to a Destiny 3 and do more experimental. Because, I mean, obviously it's a monetization type game, so could be looking into that kind of thing. I'm curious if they might be interested in looking into about having them make some of their own games. Killzone has been kind of missing from action for quite a while. Killzone on the PS4 was considered pretty lackluster. It wasn't a waving a waving success, and I think the one on the Vita was kind of not hated, but underappreciated because it's on the Vita, so it didn't acquire such a large fan base of that to it, which I do hear the Vita one was pretty fun though. So I'm not sure which of the two was the last one, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe they'll curious to seeing about Bungie messing with the Killzone, because that's a first-person game, and that's right up their alley. Like that's the one thing that we're known for. I mean, even before Halo, which for those who don't know, they used to make first-person shooters on Apple of all things, on Mac. Pretty crazy shit. Yeah, this torch is a very nice touch to this world. But it does make me wonder. Of course, there's also the other bizarre thing, which does happen sometimes, is have them just make completely other games. I think the two possibilities are they're either going to have them work on Killzone, or they're just acquiring the devs. And when you're acquiring devs, you usually are just going to make them do what you want them to do. So, obviously, you're probably smarter to make them do things they're used to, but that doesn't always guarantee or translate to what happens. I mean, we've certainly seen really weird developer teams that have had back history and other things both succeed and fail at doing other things. So it ultimately depends on the team's experience. I don't really know any of the people at Bungie or their history and what kind of games they've all worked on and that, but I think it's likely an acquisition for the devs is a higher possibility, because I mean they only have two fucking games under the hood. I mean, like, if you look further back with Halo and that, but they don't have rights to any of that, and I don't know how many of the original people who worked on Halo or even with Bungie anymore. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if most of them are gone. I mean, don't fall for the biggest thing you can fall for as a young gamer is the whole from the original devs, from the original team, from the that's marketing shit, and not always a lie, but sometimes it can be. Like this whole thing for Back 4 Blood, the original creators of Left 4 Dead, is really iffy. I mean, yes, some of the people who worked on Left 4 Dead are in the team. But it's also important to note that it's only like 6, 7 of them out of a whole lot of people. I mean, yeah, it's missing a little the how should I say, the context of not necessarily being everyone. I mean, yeah, you could argue common sense would dictate that likely not everyone from the original team's there, but with the way they're advertising it, you would think it would mean they have a lot of the important people. And when you look at back what came out with Back 4 Blood, and you look at the commentary for like how boot up Left 4 Dead and do the commentary things and listen to a lot of them, there were so many things contrary to the design of Left 4 Dead to what they did in Back 4 Blood. So it's quite clear to me that either the devs didn't care about having that same standard, or the devs that cared about a lot of the stuff they say in the commentary is not there. So, can I hop on these guys? Yes, I can hop on these. Get a nice photo with the statue of Velka. Don't know why you get the Mamma Mia, bounce on the evil Dark Souls characters. Ahoo! But I think ultimately it's just to get more devs. I mean, everyone's in this big race to own all these companies. Now, so far this has been massively happening to Western companies at the moment. Though, fanboys have been encouraging acquiring some Japanese companies here and there. And, I've mentioned before that I do think that Microsoft is missing a really big opportunity to wiggle its way in the Japanese market right now. I've been saying that for quite a while now, that I feel like they're really missing an opportunity by ignoring the Japanese market and the angry the angle that has been arisen from Sony's actions over the last several years. I feel like they're missing a very big opportunity. I don't want them to buy any companies, but I think they definitely should be a lot smarter in trying to push in Japan right now. But, that's just my subjective opinion. It's quite clear they've basically given up and don't really have any plans on pursuing that anytime soon. Maybe down the road they'll try again, but at the point of now, there are no obvious plans for that currently. So, a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Tis is. Woo! Oh no, I missed. Let's see. What's down here? Oh, I think these are where those wats are in now. I think. Oh, Westy. It's been a long time since I played Dark Souls 1. Long time. Oh, deal. There's a way out, though. Shouldn't be unless there was a ladder. Because I noticed this world doesn't have any ladders anywhere. I imagine they were a different asset from the... Though they're all bales, so... Maybe they just took the time to mess with the bales. Not really sure. But... I'm not really liking the acquisitions. I think the companies are trying to have a hard race to what we would consider mediocre companies that are unoriginal and seek the common people, if you know what I mean, the casuals. That was weird. I was partially in that. And Microsoft is getting a lot of companies for that. When Game Pass is getting buffed up. But yeah, ultimately, I would love to hear some of the opinions of what you think Sony's plans with Bungie are. So, because they have a history, but most of those people with their history are likely not even in the company anymore. Though I don't know off the top of my head, like I said. But ultimately, my guesses are they acquired for the dev team mainly, maybe some potential in Destiny, or a potential in working on Killzone. Because, that's really the only first-person shooter off the top of my head I remember Sony owns any rights to. So, and like I said, it's been quite a while since the last Killzone. It's been quite a while from the last one, so... But, ultimately, it's hard to say what will come of this. Only time will tell. I thought I'd comment on it since we did talk about Activision, and it literally happened a few days after the Activision acquirement. It's only nowhere close to the insanity, because Activision, similar to EA, has devoured a number of devs and companies and IPs over time. So that acquisition had a lot of IPs attached to it. So even if they wanted to get rid of all the devs and shit, they acquired a lot of well-known, both modern and untouched IPs that they could resurrect at a flick of the wrist and decide, we're developing a new entry in this obscure title that some people have been wanting for a while. Whoop. Ooh, nice jump. Platforming in Dark Souls. That's something quite... common. Let's see. Yeah. Too bad you can't survive that kind of fall normally in the games. Let's see, I believe this is where there's a bunch of crows and the... Yeah, here's the anvil for the blacksmith. It's odd, some of the things like the bells and the blacksmith stuff's here, but not ladders. That's quite odd. I'm not really sure what the idea that was. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Sony's acquisition. Definitely not a what I would say as big a deal as Activision's, but if you're a Bungie fan, and of course it leans more into the concerns of these companies buying out companies, and that. Hopefully, I'm hoping they don't look towards Japanese companies. I mean, I feel like some of these companies will, like, with Activision, it was a perfect get out of jail card. Just like, okay, everything's burning. We sell you for lots of money, and I get out of here with lots of money. So, see, we all profit. You get lots of new shit, I get lots of money, and I'm gone. Bye. I mean, that's essentially what Activision's situation is. Bungie's, I don't know. Bungie's being sold could be like, because Destiny 2, as far as I know, isn't in like bad shape after it came free to play, but it's not exactly in public knowledge quite as much. So it's certainly not like a bad position as far as I'm aware of, but maybe they just looking for like, okay, I just want a lot of money, get out of all this and enjoy my life, and then let someone else deal with all the work of doing all this. Yeah. No. Oh no. But yeah. Those are my thoughts, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think. What do you think Sony's going to do with Bungie, or if maybe Bungie just dies? I mean, to be fair, oh man, the texture's down here. I mean, is that what they're like in the game? I feel like they're messed up. They're like smeared or something. I think there's something happened down here wrong. Something down here didn't go too white. But, yeah. I like to hear your opinions, and let me know. I figured, can see all on the ground here. Okay, interesting. See all the underground tones. Oh, what's this? Let's be fun. Look at this. We won and we whoa. Bone skeletons, bastards. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I just hope they don't touch a lot of the Japanese companies, because I mean that's all I really care much anymore in like when it comes to most big games. Like, there's a lot of indie games that are still pretty good in the West, but like I don't really care about the AAA market in the West, and it's just turning into a giant monopoly at this point where EA is going to own all of them at this point, likely. Oh deal. Or Microsoft. But yeah. And I guess, technically Sony counts as a Western company now, too, now that its HQ's in California and everyone is pissed at them. So I guess technically they're a Western company now, I guess technically. I guess it just depends on how you see it. I don't think you're going to find too many weebs defending their actions lately, so. But let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see you someplace out there in the proving grounds, in many forms, many shapes. You never know where it may appear. And until next time. Next time should be the New Vegas review. Because of the snow, I didn't get to finish off working on it. So that should be the next thing that comes out on the next Monday. So look forward to that. Until then, ciao.